Footage of global conflicts title, How Global Conflicts Affect Our Lives appears on the screen. Hello friends! Today in our video we'll talk about how global conflicts and political tensions impact culture, lifestyle and health. We will look at several countries caught in the middle of global events and how this has affected their everyday lives. If you're interested in the topic of global politics and its effect on everyday life, subscribe to the channel, hit like, and let's get started. Let's start with the USA, a country that is deeply involved in international conflicts and economic struggles. Economic sanctions, trade tensions, and political instability affect domestic life and people's health. However, despite this, Americans still remain active in sports and health. Footage of economic events, the USA graphs people in various life situations. More people are turning to alternative medicine, such as yoga, fitness, proper nutrition, and natural supplements to maintain health amid instability. Now let's talk about China. This giant in the tech world is actively competing with the USA for leadership in artificial intelligence, robotics, and 5G. However, despite these ambitions, China faces both external and internal political challenges, and this inevitably affects its population. Footage of Chinese cities, high-speed trains, innovative technologies. In response to these challenges, Chinese people increasingly turn to traditional medicine methods, such as acupuncture, herbal medicine, and other approaches that help maintain health. Innovative technologies are also being actively integrated into healthcare, creating new opportunities for people. In Russia, in response to economic sanctions and internal problems, people began actively seeking more affordable and healthy ways of eating. Traditional products, eco-friendly food, and natural supplements are becoming increasingly popular. Footage of Russian cities, nature, people, and everyday life. Many Russians prefer local products, which not only helps maintain health but also supports the economy in the face of global difficulties. By turning to their roots, Russians are finding resilience in tradition, showcasing a unique blend of modern adaptation and historical continuity. This shift is not just about survival, but a profound statement of identity and unity amidst external pressures. Hey everyone! Today we're taking a look at how people in Turkey are staying healthy, even when times are tough. Wow, look at these markets, so busy and full of life. But behind the scenes, things haven't been easy in Turkey's economy. This means people are looking for new ways to stay healthy without spending a lot of money. And you know what they're turning to? Natural remedies, especially herbal teas. They've always been a part of Turkish culture and now they're more popular than ever. Look at how these teas are made with fresh ingredients. It's like a healthy tradition that's being rediscovered. And it's not just about saving money. It's about getting back to basics and appreciating the simple things that are good for you. To help people even more, Turkey is putting a lot of effort into farming. They want to grow more food locally so it's cheaper and better for the planet. This is a great example of how taking care of the environment can also take care of people. It's about building a future where everyone can be healthy and strong. As you can see, the people of Turkey are facing challenges with creativity and a spirit of resilience. They remind us that sometimes the best solutions are found by looking back at our roots and embracing the wisdom of the past. In the Middle East, countries like Iran and Iraq are also experiencing changes in health approaches due to political instability and wars. In these countries, traditional methods of medicine such as herbal treatments, massages, and infusions are becoming popular again. Footage of bustling markets in Iran, people preparing and using traditional medicines, and serene landscapes. Local people are looking for alternative treatments to improve their health when access to Western medicine is limited. This resurgence of traditional medical practices is a testament to the resilience and resourcefulness of the people in these regions. Footage of an elderly herbalist preparing remedies, a family using homemade infusions, and a traditional massage therapy session. As modern medicine becomes harder to access, these age-old traditions provide not just physical relief, but a sense of cultural continuity and hope. In times of uncertainty, turning to the wisdom of the past can offer a comforting sense of stability and well-being. Germany, despite its stability in the economy and politics, also faces global challenges such as climate change and migration flows. Footage of German cities, footage of healthy, active people. This creates certain social and economic issues. However, Germans actively maintain their physical form through sports and healthy eating. Footage of people jogging in parks, footage of cycling, footage of shopping at farmers markets. People here tend to follow the principles of a healthy lifestyle, using organic products and staying active despite external challenges. Footage of organic markets, footage of people practicing yoga, footage of engaging in community sports. This resilience to change illustrates how a society can adapt and thrive even when faced with global uncertainties. The focus on health and well-being becomes a cornerstone of their ability to manage and overcome challenges. Footage of community gardens, footage of family picnics, footage of outdoor fitness classes. In a world where instability seems to be the norm, Germany's commitment to a healthy lifestyle offers a beacon of hope and a model for resilience. Footage of serene German landscapes, footage of people smiling and enjoying outdoor activities. Hey everyone, let's talk about Japan, a super cool country where old ways of life meet super advanced technology. It's like stepping back in time and blasting into the future all at once. Footage of bustling Tokyo streets, footage of serene Kyoto temples. Even though Japan has tough times with money and natural disasters, they're great at keeping their traditions alive while also being super modern. Footage of Japanese tea ceremonies, footage of advanced robotics. Think about it. They have peaceful tea ceremonies, footage of Japanese tea ceremonies, and then, bam! Footage of advanced robotics. Robots everywhere. This mix of old and new is a big part of how people live in Japan. Things like flower arranging and tea ceremonies aren't just old-fashioned things they do for tourists. They're part of everyday life, and they help people feel calm and connected to their history. Footage of people practicing Zen meditation, footage of smart homes and tech gadgets. But don't think Japan is stuck in the past. They're also way ahead with technology. Smart homes and computers that help doctors are becoming normal there. Footage of people practicing Zen meditation, footage of smart homes and tech gadgets. This means they can handle big world problems without forgetting who they are. Footage of elderly people using tech gadgets, footage of community festivals. Japan is really good at mixing the old and the new. This makes their way of life strong and steady even when things change fast in the world. Footage of elderly people using tech gadgets, footage of community festivals. They can teach us a lot about how to deal with modern life without losing the things that make us special. Footage of cherry blossoms, footage of people enjoying outdoor activities. This mix of old and new also makes people feel closer to each other and happier overall. Japan shows everyone how to be strong and roll with the punches, even when things are uncertain in the world. Footage of cherry blossoms. Footage of people enjoying outdoor activities. Hello friends, and welcome to another episode of, well, whatever this is. Today we're diving headfirst into the delightful muck of global conflicts and how they ripple out to impact our cultures, lifestyles, and even our health. Buckle up, because it's going to be a bumpy, uncomfortable, and frankly, slightly depressing ride. We'll be taking a look at how countries across the globe, from the supposed land of the free to the bustling streets of Beijing, are grappling with the fallout of political tension. And no, before you ask, this isn't one of those videos that ends with a cheery, but there's still hope, montage set to uplifting music. We're going full doom and gloom today, folks. So, if you're the kind of person who enjoys a healthy dose of cynicism with their morning coffee, or you simply haven't gotten enough bad news from your Twitter feed today, then boy, are you in for a treat. So grab your beverage of choice, settle in, and let's unpack this geopolitical dumpster fire together, shall we? Let's start with the USA, a country that seems to have a knack for involving itself in international conflicts and economic squabbles with the enthusiasm of a toddler hopped up on sugar. And much like that toddler, the consequences of its actions often end up splattered across everyone else. We're talking economic sanctions that would make a Russian oligarch blush, trade tensions that could curdle milk, and enough political instability to make a seismograph consider early retirement. All of this, naturally, has trickled down to impact the daily lives and health of everyday Americans. Now, you might think that facing down the barrel of economic uncertainty and a constant barrage of anxiety-inducing headlines would leave Americans huddled in their homes, stress-eating Twinkies and muttering about the impending apocalypse. And while that's certainly true for some, no judgment here, a surprising number of Americans are choosing to combat the chaos with a rather unexpected weapon: wellness. Yes, it seems even when the world is teetering on the brink, Americans can't resist the allure of a good juice cleanse or a soul-searching yoga retreat, which, honestly, fair play to them. Across the country, people are flocking to yoga studios, gyms, and health food stores with the fervor of a Black Friday shopper on a mission. It's a veritable wellness revolution, fueled by a potent cocktail of anxiety, A desire for control in an increasingly uncertain world, and let's be honest, a healthy dose of good old-fashioned American consumerism. We're seeing a surge in popularity for alternative medicine, from acupuncture and chiropractic care to the more, let's say, creative practices like crystal healing and aura cleansing. Look, I'm not saying any of this actually works, but if sticking a quartz crystal on your forehead while chanting at the moon makes you feel better about the impending economic collapse, who am I to judge? And let's not forget the booming market for natural supplements. Americans are gobbling down vitamins, minerals, and herbal remedies like they hold the secret to eternal life and immunity to economic recession. Turmeric lattes, anyone? The point is, faced with a world that feels increasingly chaotic and unpredictable, Americans are seeking solace and stability in the one place they still have some semblance of control: their own bodies. It's a fascinating, albeit slightly ironic, response to the pressures of a globalized world. Alright, let's pivot, shall we? From the land of overpriced lattes and existential dread, we travel across the globe to the bustling, neon-drenched powerhouse that is China. This, my friends, is a country with ambitions bigger than Kanye West's ego and a work ethic that would make Elon Musk look like a slacker. China, as you may have heard, is on a mission to become the world leader in, well, pretty much everything. Artificial intelligence? Check. Robotics? Check. 5G technology that makes your current internet speed look like a dial-up connection from 1995? Check, check, check. They're like the overachieving student in a class full of underachievers, and they're not afraid to let everyone know it. But, and there's always a but, isn't there? This relentless pursuit of global dominance comes at a price. China, despite its outward projection of power and progress, is grappling with its fair share of internal and external political challenges. And just like in the good old US of A, these challenges are inevitably impacting the lives of everyday citizens. From internet censorship and restrictions on personal freedoms to growing concerns about environmental degradation and economic inequality, life in the Middle Kingdom is not all smooth sailing and high-speed internet. Okay, let's talk about Russia. Now, Russia is like that friend who insists they don't need anyone, they're doing just fine on their own, while simultaneously wearing a tracksuit they definitely borrowed from your clothesline. And by borrowed, I mean annexed. Due to a delightful cocktail of economic sanctions and internal issues that we don't have time to unpack, mostly because this segment would then require an entire season, Russians are seeking out more affordable ways to stay healthy. And no, before you ask, drinking vodka until you hallucinate a discount on buckwheat doesn't count. Instead, they're turning to traditional products, eco-friendly food, and natural supplements. Think of it as a sort of back-to-basics movement. Except instead of weaving their own clothes, they're just really enthusiastic about locally sourced beets. And honestly, can you blame them? When your currency makes monopoly money look stable, sometimes you just want the comfort of a hearty bowl of borscht and the knowledge that you're supporting your local farmer, who definitely isn't using those potatoes to build a potato-based doomsday device. Probably. This resurgence of traditional eating habits isn't just good for the Russian soul though, it's also providing a much-needed boost to the local economy. See, when your main export is basically anxiety and questionable election interference, you need to diversify. And what better way to diversify than with potatoes? I mean, think about it. Potatoes are versatile, they're relatively cheap to grow, and they pair well with vodka. That's just good business sense. Of course, there's always the slight risk that this newfound love for all things local will lead to a black market for imported Nutella and avocado toast. But hey, at least it's not weapons-grade plutonium, right? So there you have it. Russia, facing down global pressure and economic uncertainty, has decided to fight back the only way it knows how, by embracing the humble potato. And honestly, who are we to judge? It's not like the rest of the world is offering them any better options. Now, let's hop on over to Turkey, a country currently riding the economic roller coaster with the enthusiasm of a slightly terrified but ultimately determined thrill-seeker. Inflation is up, the lira is down, and the price of baklava is enough to give you heart palpitations. But amidst all this financial chaos, the Turkish people have stumbled upon a rather brilliant strategy for staying healthy on a budget. Drinking copious amounts of tea. Yes, you heard that right. Tea. Now, before you dismiss this as just another excuse for a caffeine fix, let me assure you, this is serious business. We're not talking about your fancy Earl Grey with a splash of milk here. We're talking about potent herbal infusions, brewed with the kind of love and care usually reserved for firstborn children. This is tea that can cure a headache, soothe a stomachache, and probably even help you file your taxes on time if you brew it strong enough. But Turkey's newfound health kick doesn't stop at tea parties. Oh no, they've gone full on, let's fix this economy with the power of fresh produce. The Turkish government, in a move that can only be described as surprisingly sensible, is actively promoting local agriculture. Think of it as a nationwide farm-to-table initiative, except instead of overpriced restaurants, they're just trying to make sure everyone can afford a decent tomato. And you know what? It's actually working. Local markets are overflowing with affordable fruits, vegetables, and herbs, making it easier than ever for Turkish citizens to eat healthy without breaking the bank. So, there you have it. Turkey, facing down economic uncertainty, has decided to fight back with the power of tea and tomatoes. And honestly, it's a strategy we can all get behind. Because in a world where everything seems to be getting more expensive, sometimes the simplest solutions are the best. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a sudden craving for Turkish delight. And possibly a loan application for a baklava budget. Right, moving on from doner kebabs and questionable economic decisions, let's talk about the Middle East, specifically countries like Iran and Iraq. Now, these nations are no strangers to conflict, and I'm not just talking about the geopolitical kind. They're locked in a constant struggle between ancient traditions and the relentless march of modernity, a struggle that plays out in their healthcare systems. See, for centuries, these cultures relied on traditional medicine, herbal treatments, massages, all that good stuff your hippie aunt in Portland swears by. And frankly, who can blame them? When you've got a 1,000-year-old tradition of using turmeric for inflammation, why rush to big pharma? But then came the modern era, bringing with it conflict, instability, and a healthcare system caught in the crossfire. Access to Western medicine became, shall we say, inconsistent, like a dodgy internet connection during a Zoom meeting. So, what happens when your usual trip to the doctor becomes as reliable as a promise from a politician? You guessed it, folks. It's time for Grandma's secret recipe book. Traditional medicine is making a comeback, not out of some hipster fad, but out of sheer necessity. It's cheaper, it's accessible, and frankly, it's probably one of the few things that hasn't been sanctioned by a world power. Now, I know what you're thinking. John, you glorious bastard, is this a good thing or a bad thing? And honestly, it's a bit of both. On the one hand, it's fantastic to see people reconnect with their heritage, brewing up ancient remedies like they're concocting a potion in a Harry Potter novel. But on the other hand, let's not romanticize this. This resurgence of traditional medicine is often born out of desperation, a symptom of a system stretched thin by conflict and instability. It's a stark reminder that when the world plays political whack-a-mole, it's the everyday people who bear the brunt of the mallet. And look, I'm not saying traditional medicine is a magic bullet. It's not going to cure cancer or make your student loan debt disappear, but it does offer a lifeline, a sense of agency in a region where control often feels like a distant dream. It's a reminder that even in the face of chaos, people find a way to adapt, to heal, to persevere. And frankly, in a world that often feels like it's going to hell in a handbasket, that's a bloody beautiful thing. Alright, let's pack our metaphorical bags and hop over to Germany, a country that practically invented efficiency and where the trains run on time. Unlike my internal monologue after a late-night cheese binge, you'd think a nation built on stability would be immune to the global turmoil, right? Well, my friends, welcome to the wonderful world of irony. Germany might be an economic powerhouse, but even the mightiest oak can be swayed by the winds of change. Climate change, for one, is no respecter of national borders, and Germany's feeling the heat, both literally and figuratively. Then there's the migrant crisis, a complex issue that's about as easy to summarize as the plot of Inception after a bottle of Jägermeister. But the point is, even in a country known for its social safety net, these global challenges create ripples of uncertainty, economic strain, and a healthy dose of social anxiety. So how do Germans cope with this existential dread? Well, they do what they do best. They face it head-on, with a combination of pragmatism, efficiency, and enough sausage to make a vegetarian weep. See, Germans have this amazing ability to take even the direst of situations and turn them into an opportunity for self-improvement. Climate change got you down? Time to invest in renewable energy and cycle to work with the zeal of 1,000 Lance Armstrongs, minus the performance enhancers, hopefully. Worried about the economy? Let's tighten those belts, embrace minimalism, and maybe skip the avocado toast for a hearty slice of rye bread. It's this proactive, solution-oriented mindset that helps Germans stay healthy, both physically and mentally. And let's not forget about the food. Germany might be known for its meat and potatoes fare, but there's a growing movement towards sustainability and healthy eating. Organic food markets are popping up faster than beer tents at Oktoberfest, and even the most die-hard schnitzel enthusiast is starting to consider the merits of a lentil burger. It's this adaptability, this willingness to embrace change while staying true to their core values, that makes Germany a fascinating case study. They're living proof that even in the face of global upheaval, you can still enjoy a quality beer, a good sausage, and maybe even save the planet, one solar panel at a time. Well folks, there you have it. From the bustling streets of Beijing to the sun-drenched squares of Istanbul, we've seen how global conflicts and economic uncertainty are impacting the lives, the health, and the eating habits of people worldwide. It's a bit like that awkward family dinner where everyone's pretending to get along while secretly hoping the mashed potatoes don't erupt into a political debate. But amidst all the tension, all the uncertainty, there's a glimmer of hope. We've seen how people, faced with extraordinary challenges, find extraordinary ways to cope, to adapt, and to thrive. Whether it's rediscovering the wisdom of their ancestors, embracing cutting-edge technology, or simply finding solace in a good cup of herbal tea, humans are remarkably resilient creatures. And frankly, in a world that often feels like it's teetering on the brink, that's a bloody comforting thought. If you found it interesting to learn how global issues affect people's everyday lives, subscribe to the channel. In the next videos, we'll explore how different cultures worldwide tackle the challenges of modernity.